Dapo Maboud wants Rangers' return as dream shared in new admission. John Gilligan reacts to reports he's seen about Rangers behind the scenes. Jermaine Defoe's little bro admits he dreams of stunning Rangers transfer switch. Morgan Whittaker. Rangers transfer door could open as Plymouth outlines stance. Star who broke Rangers' transfer record has doubtful future at Everton as £16 million ace faces uncertainty. Danilo injury news shared ahead of Rangers v Kilmarnock. These will be today's news. Leave a like on the video and stay until the end because I've got a very controversial question for you. We are the people. Dapo Maboud hasn't hidden his desire to one day return to Rangers, describing it as a dream to score for the club he left back in 2021. The forward, now 23, decided to run down his contract at Ibrox, ultimately leaving on a free transfer. Since then, he's taken a journey through Watford, Ostende, and most recently Dunfermline Athletic. Maboud made just one senior appearance for Rangers during the 2018-19 season, competing for game time with the likes of Jermaine Defoe and Alfredo Morelos. Now playing in the Scottish Championship, the former Ibrox youth product told the Daily Record on 17 October. I want to play for Rangers again one day. I would love to play at Ibrox. I made my debut when I was a young boy and then decided to take a different route. If it's meant to be, it will be. It would be great to play for Rangers again, and that's the dream. Scoring goals for Rangers. I try not to live life with regrets. I left Rangers because I thought it was the best thing to do. Can Maboud make an Ibrox return? Many young players dream of making it big at Rangers, but few manage to fulfill that ambition, and even fewer get the opportunity to return after leaving. Maboud's career has been turbulent. He's faced injuries and even survived a near-fatal car crash. But he now has a chance to rebuild at Dunfermline. His time at Watford and Ostende didn't exactly set the world alight, with only 8 appearances over 2 years in Belgium. But the striker is clearly aiming high. A move back to Rangers may be unlikely right now, given his limited impact since leaving the club. But football is a funny old game. It only takes one impressive campaign to shift perceptions. Although Maboud has played just 18 minutes so far in the championship this season, it's clear that his ambitions remain strong, and his dream of an Ibrox return is firmly on his radar. John Gilligan has dismissed rumors of a leadership vacuum at Rangers following confirmation that Director of Football Operations, Craig Robertson, will soon step down. With Robertson's departure coming on the back of John Bennett and James Bisgrove, also leaving their roles as chairman and CEO respectively, it's easy to see why concerns have grown among the fan base. However, Gilligan has moved to reassure supporters in an open letter shared on the club's website on 16 October. Some reports suggest we are without leadership following Craig's decision to move on, Gilligan wrote. I can assure you that's not the case. George Leatham and I bring extensive business experience and deep knowledge of the club, and we are working closely with our executive team to keep driving Rangers forward. While the shakeup in leadership is unsettling, supporters won't dwell too much on the boardroom situation as long as the squad delivers results. If Philippe Clement can lead the team to trophies, the Ibrox faithful will have little reason to complain. However, if the poor performances continue, the discontent off the pitch will inevitably grow louder. Rangers currently find themselves trailing in the league and have significant ground to make up. The clash with Kilmarnock after the international break will be a key test of the squad's ability to regain form. Similarly, the Europa League campaign adds pressure, especially after the humbling 4-1 defeat to Lyon, a result that complicates their hopes of advancing from the group stages. The club now faces the challenge of filling its vacant leadership positions quickly and smoothly, ensuring that the turmoil behind the scenes doesn't trickle down to the pitch. A swift resolution will be crucial if Rangers want to stabilize their season and maintain ambitions of closing the gap on Celtic. Rangers may have another shot at bringing Morgan Whittaker to Ibrox after Plymouth hinted they wouldn't block a move if the price was right. The winger, once a key target under Michael Beale, initially piqued Rangers' interest during a loan spell at Plymouth while still on Swansea's books. Although he eventually signed for Plymouth on a permanent deal, his name has stayed on Rangers' radar, even with Philippe Clement now at the helm. Whittaker's value has continued to rise since his transfer, thanks to impressive performances in the championship. The 23-year-old has become a pivotal figure in Wayne Rooney's side, sparking speculation that he could still end up in Glasgow. Plymouth's director of football, Neil Dewsnip, has acknowledged that several of their players, including Whittaker, have attracted interest from bigger clubs. Speaking to Western Morning News, Dewsnip explained that, while they don't want to lose their top performers, the club wouldn't stand in a player's way if a good offer came in. We shouldn't be frightened of that. We should take it as a compliment. We don't want to lose our best players, let me state that strongly. But if we get to the point where someone wants to leave, we'll have to understand and plan accordingly. Despite their openness to selling, Whittaker's importance to Plymouth makes any potential transfer tricky. Dewsnip highlighted just how vital the winger has become to their attack. He's a major part of our attacking prowess. Teams are now aware of what Morgan can do, and he's had to adapt. His goal against Blackburn, a smart header between the posts, shows he's finding new ways to get on the score sheet. We've got more attacking options this season, and while Morgan is essential, he's not the only piece, but his importance is clear. Whittaker's performances have come at a cost. In the last transfer window, Plymouth reportedly valued him at between £7 and £8 million. Rangers, still recovering from a tough summer transfer window, may struggle to meet that asking price in January. If they decide to reignite their pursuit, the Light Blues will have to dig deep financially. Dewsnip's comments indicate that, while Plymouth are open to negotiations, they may be reluctant to part with such a crucial player mid-season. Whether Rangers can pull off a deal will depend on their willingness to meet Plymouth's demands and on Whittaker's desire to make Ibrox his next destination. Nathan Patterson's future at Everton is under question as the former Rangers fullback struggles to establish himself in Sean Dyche's plans. Patterson, who broke the Rangers transfer record with his move to Goodison Park for £16 million in 2022, has endured a frustrating spell marred by injuries and limited opportunities. Since arriving from Ibrox, the Scotland international has only managed 48 appearances, with injuries keeping him sidelined for much of the current campaign. He's been restricted to Premier League 2 action while Everton experiment with other options at right-back, including veteran Seamus Coleman and midfielder James Garner. The Liverpool Echo suggests that Patterson's future may hinge on his ability to make a big impression upon his return to the senior squad. If he fails to secure the right-back position, the club could look to move him on by next summer. Gavin Buckland, Everton stats expert and journalist, voiced concerns about Patterson's trajectory, noting that his career is falling behind the curve of a player expected to become an established Premier League presence. Buckland remarked, "By the age of 23, Patterson has only made 50 league starts despite being in and around first-team squads for several years. That's not the typical pathway for someone expected to become an established player, especially considering his injury record. Whether Sean Dyche rates him or not is another factor, but it's clear that his progress has been far from ideal." Patterson's return to fitness will be pivotal if he hopes to resurrect his Everton career, but the road ahead looks uncertain. As things stand, the Scottish defender faces a race against time to prove himself before the Toffees make their plans for next season. Danilo is unlikely to start for Rangers against Kilmarnock at Rugby Park on 20th of October, according to injury expert Dr. Rajpal Brar. The forward has endured a rough spell with injuries, and although he may feature on the bench, the club isn't expected to risk starting him just yet. Brar, a specialist in physical therapy and sports science, shared insights with Ibrox News, explaining, "He's had some really difficult moments with injuries, starting with a facial fracture and then 2 consecutive longer-term knee injuries. If he returns to first-team training after the break, I reckon he'd need 1 to 2 weeks of bounce matches if everything goes to plan. It's highly unlikely for him to start this weekend, with the best-case scenario being a place in the matchday squad." The 25-year-old Brazilian striker has been plagued by fitness issues since joining Rangers. In fact, Danilo has only made 1 appearance this season, but made an impact by scoring in that solitary game. Given the limited time he spent on the pitch, it seems unrealistic to expect him to be fully match-fit right away. His injury woes began last season, keeping him out for large stretches, and he has since encountered further setbacks. The hope among fans is that Danilo makes the bench for the Kilmarnock match. If his recovery stays on track, we may see him slowly reintegrated into Philippe Clement's plans, offering a much-needed boost to Rangers' attacking options. Now I want to hear from you, my friend. What do you think about Maboud's return? What's your opinion on him and about these injuries? What do you think about that? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you haven't seen the big news from yesterday, I'll leave it here on the screen. Go check it out. It's a great video.